Okay, so would you like advise, like now, if an international student wants to do medicine, what would you advise them? What's your advice for them?
So,
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Yes, it's another video with my friend Favor. You guys know me, my name is Naya, and I make videos on education, personal finance, and personal development for F1 and H1B visa holders in the US. So my friend, you guys had a lot of questions about like nursing and pre-med, and I'm in tech. I'm a tech sis. I don't know anything about that, so I brought her along because we went to the same school. But she did we did double major in biology and chemistry. Yes.
don't do it.
Yeah, so basically she's just gonna tell you like the process and the story and everything. So yeah.
So, like most of you, I've always wanted to be a doctor. You know, in my dream, doctor. In my house, I was the only doctor. And I was curious, really curious about it. And I thought I was going to be a neurosurgeon, to be honest. And I think I got that passion after reading Gifted Hands by Ben Carson. Yeah, I was fascinated. Anyways, that actually stimulated my interest to come to the US and study because I wanted to be the best doctor ever, right? I come to the US and I was going to go with biology major. And then after doing a bunch of research and connecting with upperclassmen who were also interested in medicine, they told me to do pre-med. So I decided to go.
Biology major, I'm sorry, biology major is different from pre-med?
In some places it is.
Okay.
In some schools it is.
Okay.
Yeah, so like when I first, I went to Berea College. Now when I first applied to go to Berea College, pre-med was an actual major.
Was an actual major?
Yes.
Okay.
So, but when I got there, my second year they took it out for some reason.
Why?
I have no idea.
Okay. So
pre-med,
there's no pre-med major in Berea as of right now?
There's no. I don't think there is.
Okay.
There was when I was there. Actually, I had pre-med on my I-20. Then I talked to my DSO, designated student official, and she advised me to change it from pre-med to biology because pre-med wasn't considered STEM.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But you see the STEM thing, it really confuses me because nursing is not considered STEM.
Yeah.
Okay.
It has to be. I don't know what they say science is, but but yeah, pre-med wasn't for immigration. Pre-med was not considered STEM.
Okay.
So I had to change my major from pre-med to biology and chemistry.
Yeah.
And because I did that, and I also looked at the courses I needed to take as pre-med, I also still needed to take that in for biology and chemistry. So I decided to go with biology, but then I really like chemistry and I'm really good with chemistry. I know I'm that weird person that likes organic and everyone hates
chemistry.
Wait until you hit organic.
No,
Everyone
I
hates
do
chemistry
organic.
because of organic.
Really?
Yeah.
My sister made me like chemistry so much. Like, you know, chemistry, you started in like SS1, I think like your 10th grade, right? But she made me start it in primary 6, like your 6th grade. Like, I was small. Like, she would come and she's teaching me chemistry. And it was like, that was how I started liking chemistry. But yeah.
Chemistry is fun. Now, when you're dealing with the analytical part of chemistry, like math, if you like math, you're gonna like chemistry. But once you start going to a more advanced chemistry, like organic, analytical, like upper analytical classes, yeah, people hate it. So I'm that weird person that I like to say I'm a nerd, but I really liked organic chemistry. So I actually wanted to do biology because biology is so related to human, that's what we know. Biology, like, is so related to human physiology that I thought that would prepare me the best for med school. But then I really liked chemistry, so I decided to add it on. Honestly, it was kind of like I didn't have a good reason for doing biology and chemistry. But looking back on that, I wouldn't do that. Because biology and chemistry, those are very tough majors in most schools.
So what would you advise like a pre-med, like someone that wants to do medicine, what would you advise them to do if like they went to Berea and there's no pre-med?
So this is the thing with medicine. If you can't do medicine without going to med school. We all know this. Now, to go to med school, all you need is the prerequisite courses, right? I don't know all of them at the top of my head, but it's your basic biology, your organic, you need your physiology, you need some math, like calculus, you need, like, if you go to the WMC website, that's the website for people applying to med school and also people in med school, like they will tell you what you need, the courses you need to get into med school. Now, once you have those courses down, it doesn't matter what you major in, to be honest.
Oh, so
I have a friend.
You can take all those courses and be like a computer science major.
Yes.
Wow.
I have a friend who was a theater major.
Really?
Yes. Now, this is the catch.
Okay.
It's hard to not major in a core biology or chemistry major and still be super good with all of those courses.
Because they're like purposes, they build off of
each other.
Okay.
Now, when you want to go to med school, there are classes and courses and books. I have a bunch of MCAT books with me that you need to study to pass the MCAT. So you really don't need to major in biology. There are people who majored in English and are in med school. It's just hard. Like, you have to be a very smart person. And you just someone that has such amazing memory that you don't have to do repetition so much to know the material and get it. That's what I would say. I would still major in biology or chemistry. I would do biology or chemistry instead of both, right? And then I'm gonna add on something else that I really like. Now, if you really like biology and chemistry, go ahead and do it. What I'm trying to say is you don't need a double major, biology and chemistry, to be prepared for med school. That's what I'm saying.
So how hard is it to get into med school then?
It's very
as an international student, because that's who we're talking to right now.
Extremely difficult. You have a percentage chance of 0.01% to 0.1%, you know. So this is the thing. There are not as many med schools coming up every year. We all know this, right? And as international students, you don't have access to federal funding. Med school is extremely expensive. In 4 years, you are $500,000 in debt.
Jesus.
Yes. It's worth it because once you're done with school, you can pay that off easily. Because especially if you specialize in one of those top specialties, you get paid a lot of money and you can easily pay off all the debt. So it's worth it. But this is a catch with international students. We don't have access to federal loans. So it's very difficult to get into a school because you can't show that you can actually sponsor yourself in the school, in med school, right? Now, there are other options. The school can actually provide you with some scholarships and also with institutional loans. Now, those schools are usually private schools because they have other sources of income, of endowment or funds. They don't 100% depend on the government, right? The federal government or the state government. So in cases like that, like Stanford University, Harvard University, all those universities can actually, they'll accept international students and they have some scholarship or some institutional loans to help you through med school. But they're super competitive. So you
have to be, it's not just GPA.
Yes, your GPA should be a 4.0 or close to a 4.0. Your MCAT is gonna be in the 90th percentile and above. You don't want to do less than that. That makes you competitive for these schools, right? Now, for med school in total, you don't need that high of a GPA or that high of a MCAT score, right? But you can't really go if you can't show that you can sponsor it. There are other ways you can go about this funding issue. One program that I was really interested in was MD PhD. So you'll be a physician scientist after that. Now it's about 8 years in school.
So wait, med school is 4 years, but the MD PhD is 8 years.
Yeah.
And after you've studied 4 years as a pre-med.
Yeah.
So that's 12 years.
Yeah, and that's just med school. Then after that, you go to your residency, and after that, whatever your specialty is, you go to Moscow for specialty. And yeah.
So technically, if you want to be a doctor, at least in the US, I don't know how it works in Nigeria really, but you have to have maybe at least 15 years of school.
That's why once you're done, you start making so much money because people are paying for your expertise for that whole long time.
Yeah, but okay, so if you get in school at, let's say, 20, you're coming out at like 35.
Have you seen any really young doctors? Have you seen doctors of 20 years old?
Wow, like hats off, because I could never.
Well, this is the thing. I've seen students who actually start med school at age 19, 18.
Yeah.
And then if you're that kind of student and then you go through just med school is 4 years. Then you go to residency. I mean, depending on
how
the
long
specialty.
is residency?
It depends on the specialty you want to go to, but usually it's about 2 years, and I could be wrong, but it depends on the specialty you want to go to.
Okay.
Yes, I mean, if you're doing cardiovascular surgery or something like that, let's be talking 5 years. Now, MD PhD. So with MD PhD, it's a dual degree, right? You are gonna be an MD, medical doctor, and a PhD holder.
So it's like double degree. Okay, so
now
that makes
PhD
sense.
by itself, usually you go to school for 5 to 6 years.
6 years, yeah.
Now, if you do MD and PhD, it's a program that's merged together.
So that's 8
So
years.
you do your med school first, and then you do your PhD next, and that's 8 years. You're gonna graduate with a PhD and MD.
MD program.
Now,
okay.
if you want to do that, you need to be sure that you are more interested in research on human diseases as opposed to just the MD part. Many MD PhD holders, physician scientists, they have they split their time 70-30 or 80-20, and that means 70% doing lab work, research work, and 30% seeing patients.
So it's not even like a doctor.
No, you are a doctor.
Yeah, you are a doctor.
You see patients, you prescribe drugs, you do everything.
But
a
it's not
does.
as much like as a doc. Like it's not, because you said it's 70-30, so it's not like all the time. You're actually researching the rest of the time.
So think of it like this: your primary duty is being a doctor, right? Mm-hmm. But in medicine, there's so much we don't know about human diseases, right? Which is why there's a lot of research going on about it. So what you're doing is you see your patients, you take whatever problem that you have noticed or that you're interested in, and then you take it to the lab, you do research on it to learn more about it.
Okay, so would you like advise, like now, if an international student wants to do medicine, what would you advise them? What's your advice for them?
So, like many people told me don't do it because of how difficult it is to get in. But having gone through it myself, this is what I'll say. It is extremely difficult to get in, but you should be aware of that. Like, you can make that decision, but be sure that you know the consequences. You know exactly what is going to happen, right? A lot of schools would not even accept international students because they know the funding is a problem. Now, in the MD PhD route, they actually accept more international students because of the PhD side.
So it gives more.
It gives more money, right? That's not directly all from the government, right? But MD PhD programs are so small and so fewer than med school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like in a class, MD PhD, you have 13 students max.
It's like Berea in a class. In Berea, it's something like 20,
like a class, like the whole incoming class.
Oh, oh, not even like one.
The
wow.
whole incoming
Okay.
class.
Okay.
I think the max I have seen personally 15 students.
Wow.
Like your whole incoming class, you have only
like
15
class
students.
of 2020, class of 2015, not like just one class that they're teaching like history or something.
And you see 2-3 international students in that class.